Hello there, today is recapping day 44 of working on a currently untitled project, so let's hop right in. So, today I added in two new types of weapons, and also, well, three, but the first one already existed. There are now automatic weapons, there are charge and release weapons, and there are continuous weapons. Right now, I've reworked the railgun to be charge and release, and I've reworked the beam to be continuous. What that looks like in game is so automatic weapons work as before, where you just click and hold to fire. Charge and release weapons will charge up and use ammo as they're charging, and they charge slower because if you run out of ammo, because there's you can't use the ammo that you don't have to charge. And then when you release the mouse button, they fire. Continuous weapons, when you click, they spawn an object, and so now the beam no longer flickers. I also added in a minimum ammo to fire, you can click and hold, and rather than flickering on and off when there's no ammo left, the beam will wait for at least 10 ammo before it can fire again. So it will at least last a short time rather than just flickering on and off constantly. This also applies to other weapons, so if I run out of ammo here, you'll see that I fire a few shots at once, and then there's a minimum ammo. This does not apply to charge and release weapons as of yet, and of course anything that has... The default is set to 10 minimum ammo. Anything that has more than 10 ammo to fire will not be affected by this change up front, but that could be changed later on. So like the G-Spray is more affected by the fact that it requires more ammo than 10 to fire. Ignore that, that's just a art thing. The beam is also terrible. That really needs to be reworked. As an aside, the weapons automatically replace themselves on startup on the player. So by default they're weapons, just normal S weapons, but now you can see that you have a weapon automatic, continuous, and charge and release. That's all for the core stuff. If you'd like to listen to me ramble for a short time, feel free to stick around. If you want to just click off, feel free to do so as well. So, for the ramble today, I don't think I have too much, but I guess it's curiosities. I've already run into a few problems with dealing with the weapons. Like on the player, for example, the weapons have to replace themselves and so on and so forth if they're not the correct type, which by default they're not, because these are just S weapons to start with, so they'll never be the correct type. It's... I don't know. The thing I'm sort of wondering is, I have these set up as different classes that all inherit from S weapon, and I just guess I'm wondering if that's really how I want to deal with it. If this is correct, quote unquote. Because if I have more trigger types, then I'm going to have even more classes that descend from from S weapon, and then there's stuff like that doesn't properly get handled, like charge and release weapons. like, what would be the best way to, like, handle charging, if I wanted to have it, like, fire multiple shots if you charged longer than if you charge a shorter amount of time. Like, if you charge for a short time, you fire one shot. If you charge for a longer time, you fire 3 shots or something like that. Like, what would be... Like, I can handle that. Like, it's not... Like, I can add in logic to, like, say, like, if partial charge is acceptable, then do this, and, you know, if, you know, you, instead of just using projectiles fired, you know, use a sliding scale for, like, hey, how many projectiles can be fired at most, and how much was your charge, and so on and so forth. Like, that's all basically added in. It's just, is this the best way of handling it? Is this the best I can come up with? And I don't know. Oh, this is actually affected. I thought that this wasn't affected. I think I just set this to 0 for the wheel gun, right? Yeah, I set this to 0. Yeah, I don't know. This is one of those things where, like, I just don't have enough experience making these types of systems to really be able to say that, oh, this is correct or this is incorrect, or this is, you know, this is definitely the way I want things, which is a bit frustrating, because ideally I would have that experience, but, you know, I can't get that experience without going through the motions, you know? So, yeah, I guess I'll just have to see by doing. Anyways, oh, the other thing to note is that there is, I think it was pretty obvious, but on the beam weapon, there's this obvious bug where, like, you can still fire if you know, that red line should indicate the amount of ammo that takes to fire, and for continuous weapons it should just be the minimum ammo required, rather than, you know, the ammo it takes per second, because, you know, that's obviously incorrect. So minor changes to make. It might also be nice to not have it just flash the entire bar red and it actually just show, like, how much ammo is remaining. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe the flash red needs to be a slightly different color so that's clear which part is flashing red and which part is the ammo that remains, because that is visually confusing. It's fine on other weapons because, you know, when you have something like this, you know, you can still tell because, you know, the flash goes away really quickly, but for a continuous weapon, because it fires constantly, that's not the case. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's everything. If you have any comments, questions, ideas, or anything else on your mind, leave a comment below. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.